Alright, what is up, YouTube? It is Zeta TCG here, and I'm going to talk about the new ban list that's going to be taken in effect on the very first day of 2015. And we're just going to go right into it here. Only one card got the ban hammer, and I'm not very happy about it at all, and it is super polymerization. I'm really upset about it in a way because, excuse me, that I run Cyber Dragons, and I use super polymerization. I'm not happy about it because I run Cyber Dragons and I use it, and it's a really good card. I like it. You can discard a card, and you can use monsters on both sides of the field as fusion material. I think this is more though a hit towards Shadals because Shadals do involve fusions, and even though Shadals have their own fusion card, they still want to put a hit on Super Poly. And even though Future Fusion is banned, I also even feel like in a way that Konami is trying to really put a hit on fusions. I mean, there's really not enough good fusion cards now. I mean, the only card that acts like super polymerization is Final Fusion, or excuse me, not Final Fusion, Flash Fusion. Correction, I'm sorry. Flash Fusion is the only card now that acts like super poly, and now um, and now it's gone, and I'm not very happy about it at all. I saw this as a big surprise, but now I guess I'll just have to find a way to turn around from that. I was going to do a deck profile that had a deck profile, not a deck profile, a deck profile that that had this card in it, and now I'm thinking I may just add another Overload Fusion to that. So now that's it for banned. One card that got hit that is new to the list to be limited is, excuse me, Artifact Moral Tack or Moral Tatch. I don't know. Um, Artifact Moral Tack. It has a pretty good effect to it. I have it right here. It says that you can set this card from your hand into your back row, and then whenever during your opponent's turn, when this set card in your back row is destroyed and sent to the grave, you can straight up special summon it. And if this card is special summoned during your opponent's turn, you can destroy one face-up card your opponent controls. Now, I can already see that being a problem, so I'm pretty glad Konami kind of hit that to one, even though I've never went up against it. Like I've been on Dueling Network, and I've never been up against it. I'm kind of surprised by that. A card with this sort of power to it can easily wipe out or even change the course of a duel. Easy. So I can see why Konami put that at limited to one. Now we'll go down to one card made a comeback. Dark Strike Fighter, a synchro, and to be honest, Dark Strike Fighter, this doesn't bother me at all. Limited to one, it just seems like a good card to keep at one. It should stay at one for a while. If you don't know its effect, it's pretty simple. If you have a card face up on your field, you can tribute it, and you can inflict 200 damage times the number of or times the card's level. So if I have like a level 4 out and I tribute it, since I have Dark Strike Fighter, then my opponent takes about 800 damage. Yeah, and if I have like a level 8, then my opponent takes only 1600. So to be honest, that probably should have been limited from the start. I really don't see the maximum amount of damage you can really do is 2400 if you have a 12-star monster. So yeah, I can see it as to why it's at one. It should probably stay at one for a while. I don't see it going any higher or lower. That's probably a good place where it should be. And this card surprised me a lot. I'm I'm kind of glad to see it back. It's an old school card. We all know it. Snatch Steel. It came back, and I'm probably surprised by this a lot. Like, I like whenever I found out super polymerization got the band hammer, I was pretty shocked by that. But whenever I scrolled down and found Snatch Steel at 1, that made me even more surprised. I honestly don't know what Konami was thinking. Maybe they were trying to find a way to counter light swarms. I kind of thought this over in my head. If your opponent is running light swarms and he brings out the Judgment Dragon, then you can easily snatch steal that sucker and you can just go to town in freaking even go for game. Even though your opponent gains 1,000 life points every time it's their standby phase, it's still a good card to use against light swarms with Judgment Dragon. So I guess that's what maybe they were aiming at. I don't know. It could be more just so to get it off to get a card that can change control, because there is creature swap and I don't use creature swap. I've never seen anybody use creature swap in a long time, and because Snatch Steel was banned for the longest time with brain control and change of heart. Excuse me. I figured it'll probably just stay there. I mean, we all use change of heart to bring an opponent's monster to our side of the field to tribute for a better card, and we use brain control for pretty much the same thing. I don't really understand why it was brought back. I feel like Konami was kind of messed up that day whenever they announced Snatch Steel would be brought back. I definitely have to look back through my old cards and find that card so I can throw it in the deck or something. But yeah, Snatch Steel at 1 was banned for the longest time, and I don't know what they were thinking, but if there's any card I want to use this card up against, I want to use it up against Light Swarms with that Judgment Dragon. That Judgment Dragon has kicked my ass, and it has pissed me off so much. And now I can finally use a card like Snatch Steel to bring it to my side of the field and show my opponent who's boss. Now, we'll go to semi-limited. Now, semi-limited, I am very happy with semi-limited. I think Konami hit a home run, like straight up. I think they hit a home run. I think they made the right moves on which cards should get semi-limited, and I do plan on taking advantage of this. Honest at 2, very happy about it. It doesn't bother me one bit either. I mean, if my opponent has 2 Honest in their deck, go for it. Especially with the Light Swarms will definitely use Honest. Even my Cyber Dragon deck can use an Honest 2 of them. I mean, I kind of questioned having 1 in my deck for the longest time, considering that only one, you can only use that effect 1 time unless you bring it back using a card like the Transmigration Prophecy, which I will get to in a little bit. But with Honest at 2, I'm kind of reconsidering putting Honest in my Cyber Dragon deck. Now, with that being said, even if Honest was limited or even brought to 3, I see very limited use to it. I think only Light Swarms would use that, unless if an opponent was strictly running cards whose types are light, because that's what Honest is. And Honest is a good card. I like it. I've seen opponents go for game with Honest, and I think it's a really good move by Konami. I think it was the right move too. Excuse me. Now next, Goyo Guardian at 2. I remember whenever Goyo Guardian got limited and got hit, I remember people were kind of rejoicing a little bit about it, because Goyo Guardian, it was easy to bring out with it being a synchro and just simply attack your opponent and then take that card, bring it back on your side of the field. Pretty simple. I'm fine with it at 2. I hardly know anybody who uses Goyo Guardian anymore. It's not the way it was used before, but I think the reason why Konami also made it at 2 was because they brought it back in the 5D's Legendary Collection that came out recently. And I know that some people have pulled Goyo Guardian and they were complaining about it being at 1. Like I remember I saw this one guy open a Legendary Collection 5Ds, and he pulled 2 Goyo Guardians in the same box. So, he was just saying, man, if they brought Goyo Guardian to 2, that'd be something else. So now they finally did. It's at 2. Yet again, I don't see anybody using it anymore. But it's okay with me. I think it's fine. It doesn't bother me at all. I'm absolutely okay with it. Now, next card, Dark Hole at 2. Dark Hole at 2 is fine. It's fine. This doesn't need much explanation at all, because we all know from the last ban list, Konami made another comeback card of Raigeki right here. So, with Dark Hole at 2, it's fine. And honestly, I think if now were the time to make Dark Hole at 2, it was either going to be from the last ban list whenever they brought back Raigeki, or this ban list. So now I think Dark Hole at 2, it's fine. I don't use Dark Hole. I've never used cards that wipe out my opponent's front row, unless if it was like a card's effect that caused it. Maybe like Master of Blades or something. I don't know. I've never used Dark Hole in my deck, and I don't think I will. I have a lot of Dark Hole cards, and I've never used them in my decks. Because I knew that in my case, whenever I run Cyber Dragons, or even like some deck like on Dueling Network, I'll sometimes run 6 Sams because it is fun. And I wouldn't even throw a card like Dark Hole in 6 Sams, especially because 6 Sams has the special summoning tacked on it that can just simply swarm the field with ease, and I wouldn't want to use Dark Hole on that. So, but yet again, with Raigeki back from being banned, I don't think there's any problem with Dark Hole being at 2. It's just a card. It's just a staple now, especially with it being at 2. Okay, that's it for semis. Now the cards that are no longer on the list. Blackwing Gale the Whirlwind. Now, I never run Blackwings. I've never faced an opponent that has Blackwing deck either. I have pulled Blackwing cards, but I've really never seen any good use of Blackwings. I think Blackwings are... I know that Blackwings are mainly surrounded by Synchro Summoning. A lot of Blackwings are tuners. Blackwing Gale the Whirlwind is a tuner. So, I think personally, with Blackwing not being at 2 anymore, it is now at 3, I'm fine with it. I mean, I don't know any of my friends that run Blackwing. I haven't even faced an opponent that has ran Blackwing. So I think this was the right move. If you don't know what Blackwing Gale the Whirlwind does, if you control a Blackwing monster other than Blackwing Gale the Whirlwind, you can special summon this card from your hand, and once per turn, you can have the attack and defense of one face-up monster your opponent controls. That second part of the effect is pretty good, I'm not going to lie. But, yet again, with it being at 3 and hardly anybody not running Blackwings anymore, people are running Shaddolls, Light Swarms. I even know some friends that are running Elemental Heroes still. Even Destiny Heroes, okay? So, it doesn't bother me at all. So with it being at 3, I'm okay with it. Mermail Abyss Gund, or Yund, or Gundio. It is a card that jumped from the limited to being at 3. Now, Konami has done that before. Mermail Abyss Gund, I'm just going to call it Mermail Abyss. Its effect is this. If this card is discarded to the graveyard, you can target one Mermail monster in your graveyard except Mermail Abyss Gund. Special summon that target. You can only use the effect of Mermail Abyss once per turn. I guess Konami wanted to hit Mermail a little bit. I think Mermail's probably had some effect in it that just made Abyss just go to the grave by discard, and they just special summoned the field with like a a high attack monster. So I'm fine with it. I don't run Mermails. I haven't even faced an opponent that has ran Mermails, so I'm fine with it. It's fine. Next, Reborn Tengu. Um, Reborn Tengu. With it being at 3, it doesn't bother me. Reborn Tengu, it's like tour guides, except with tour guide, once it's brought out, then you can search in your deck and pull out your second tour guide, or even another level 3 or whatever, or fiend type monster. So with Reborn Tengu being at 3, it doesn't bother me. Reborn Tengu, the way it works is if it's removed from the field, you can special summon the same monster from your deck. So, to me, it's fine. It doesn't bother me at all. I don't even see players using Reborn Tengu, and I think it's just kind of like a tour guide in a way, but in a way it isn't. So that's that. Reasoning is no longer on the list. I remember Reasoning whenever I was really young, and I remember it being a really good card. But now with Reasoning at 3, it's nothing. I haven't faced an opponent in years who used Reasoning, so I think Reasoning at 3, it's fine. It's absolutely fine. It's not 2004 anymore, so it's fine. The Transmigration Prophecy at 3. Now, I was running the Transmigration Prophecy at 1 with my Cyber Dragons, and that was when I had like 3 polymerizations in it, and now I reduced that number, but I may have to reconsider with Super Poly being banned. The Transmigration Prophecy, this card is great. I love it. Basically, what it does is you can bring back up to 2 cards in either player's graveyard back into their decks. I think Konami is once again trying to find a way to counter Light Swarms. Because with Light Swarms, in order for you to bring out the Judgment Dragon, you need to have like 5 or 6 Light Swarms with different names in your grave. So I think with this card being at 3, I think it's countering it, because then you can just go, oh, Prophecy, and then just simply go through your opponent's grave and then tell them to add this Light Swarm, and then add that one, and then your opponent may have Judgment Dragon in their hand, and they can't summon it now because it doesn't follow the summoning rules. So I think with it being at 3 is really good. I use the Transmigration Prophecy to bring back, in my Cyber Dragon deck, I use it to bring back like Cyber Dragon, obviously, Cyber Valley, even like Magic cards, like if I needed Battle Fusion or Polymerization again, or a Fusion Recovery, I would definitely use it to bring back into my deck. The Transmigration Prophecy, though, with it being at 3, absolutely fine. It's amazing, in my opinion, I think. So this concludes it. Once again, I'll go over it just one quick time. Super Polymerization got the ban hammer. Not very happy about it. Artifact Mortal Attack is now limited at 1. Dark Strike Fire made a comeback. Was forbidden. Now at 1. Snatch Steel, probably the card that surprised the most people, was banned. Now at 1. Honest was limited. Now at 2. Seems pretty good. Same thing with Goyo and Dark Hole. And to conclude it, cards that are no longer banned: Blackwing Gale the Whirlwind, Mermail Abyss Gun, Reborn Tengu, Reasoning, and the Transmigration Prophecy. Thank you guys for watching my video. This is Zeta TCG, signing out.